Hi, I am Dr. Gargi Raigoswamy. Today I will tell you a very interesting concept on dental genetics, where we are trying to conglomerate the knowledge of basic sciences into dental sciences. Before I start, I'll dedicate this session to my father, Dr. Kamalesh Chandra Roy, who was the first dentist of Murshidabad district, West Bengal, my hometown, and he was a very renowned dentist of his time. I definitely like to uh, give my word of thanks to the entire team of IADS for this wonderful work you guys are doing. And in particular, I'd like to thank Dr. Navneet, Dr. Praveen, Dr. Ridhima, and Ayushi. Well, talking about our knowledge or the knowledge that we acquire, basically, if we want to complete the circle of knowledge, we actually need to explore the unaware 85%. Yes, the things that we know very well, that is only 5% of our knowledge, and what we want to know is 10%. So, what I mean to say is, in a similar way, if we try to understand a disease, a pathology, or a physiological process as a whole and complete the circle of that knowledge, we need to not only understand the symptoms, we need to also understand the molecular level signaling pathway that is going on inside the cells. We also need to understand the challenges which, say for example, in dental cavity, which where a healthy tooth receives a microbial challenge and it gets cavitated. So actually, what is going wrong? So we need to go inside the genetics and environmental risk factors too. Not only that, when we are prescribing drugs, we should know how to choose it and what to choose, and also a knowledge of how these drugs are actually working in my patient, whether my patient is getting benefited, what's actually going on at the genetic level. Well, then, only then, we can tell that we are giving a quality dental care. If I say that life is universal, then I can definitely tell that genetics is universal. Well, we are all the time mostly taught about the what's and how's. So from today onwards, let me try to change. Try to change your perspective. Let us just think about why, what, and then how, because it is very important that before we plunge into it, we should understand why we should do that. Similarly, before giving a decision about or a diagnosis about a disease or understanding a normal mechanism, we should try to understand why that particular thing is happening. For example, why I tell again genetics is universal, like if a patient goes to a hospital with a problem, he doesn't know which department to go. So he just go as a whole inside the hospital. And in the OPD, he is being screened initially and then referred to different departments or the most important department he would suit. Similarly, in dentistry, we have many things to study. We have many departments. The only thing is genetics and knowledge of basic sciences is there in each and every department in dentistry. Some uses it more, some uses it less, and some doesn't use it. Well, I'll try to put a focus on the big why about why we are studying or why we are talking about dental genetics today. Because if we have a thorough knowledge, if we have a complete circle of knowledge about a disease or about the pathology or about the normal physiology even, we will understand the A to Z of any disease. That will help us to understand how a disease runs in a family, which is very important. Also, then we will be able to make a more correct diagnosis, and eventually we can do a early detection of a disease and make appropriate referrals wherever applicable. Not only that, with the thorough knowledge of dental genetics, we can update our own knowledge with the present oral healthcare research that is going on worldwide, and we can understand the wonders of personalized medicine that we talk about much now, and we will also know where and what to look for, what are the genetic resources, what are the information, where to go for this information, and definitely with all these things we will understand what genetic tests are and how to incorporate them into our clinical practice. And definitely all these things together will complete our treatment plan, will give our treatment plan a more holistic approach. And finally, why dental genetics? Because I always believe that education is about the future and not the past. And we are already in an era where genetics and genomics are playing a vital role both in oral healthcare research and dental practice. Well, let me give you the commonest example, that is dental caries. So we are, well, from the day one we are taught, when we know dental caries, we are taught this Venn diagram where we are supposed to consider microorganisms, the substrate. We want to talk about the time and host and teeth. But this Venn diagram changes when I just put a genetic perspective. Just say, what happens? We need to consider the genes in the host. What in the host we should consider? It's not only the surface dentition, we need to understand about the two genes, the taste genes, the immunity genes, the salivary biomarkers, and all the stuff together gives us a complete knowledge. For example, there might be so many of two genes which produces so many of proteins which are important for the development of a tooth, for mineralization, etc. So anything goes wrong in this kind of two genes, what will happen? There will be production, there might be production of abnormal proteins or the reduction in the amount of these proteins in developing teeth. So all this together accumulates to give a defective mineralization, and definitely a defective mineralization will change the resistance of enamel to acidic pH, will affect the bacterial adherence. Overall effect will be an increased susceptibility of the tooth surfaces to dental caries. So if we have a thorough knowledge like this, so definitely with dental genetics, we can better understand the etiology of disease. We can do early detection of high risk individuals for that particular disease. We can even create awareness and educate our patients, and definitely we can strategize early intervention. So overall, we are enhancing the life of our patient. And the very important aspect is, you and I cannot just cut science like that and tell that science is discrete. No way. Science is very, very interdisciplinary. So we cannot afford to tell that I am just extracting a tooth, so I don't need to understand cell biology. It's enough for me to know how to put an LA and uh, get it to work and I can extract. No. And I will tell you a very interesting thing. Being dentists, we are always in a plus one stage because we by nature are dealing with a very interdisciplinary field. Just think, you open a mouth, you see a hard tissue, you see soft tissue, you see interaction between them, you can understand about the microbial communities present there, or you can investigate on that. You can actually see the normal, you can see the abnormal or pathological, and what not. I mean, that's so wonderful. And also for prevention, for us is the number one rule, because whatever small or complicated treatment we are doing, the first thing that comes in is preventing a disease to spread. Well, so I think it's high time that we should bridge the gap between the understanding of basic sciences and clinical sciences. For that, we need to ask ourselves about our attitude. Yes, definitely we need to change our attitude towards the disease, towards the normal physiology. For changing our attitude, we need to have and acquire some skills, and to get those skills we need the key of knowledge. So that you get in Indian Academy for Clinical and Dental Genetics. Well, it's a very interdisciplinary platform, and it is the first of its kind endeavor in India to bridge the gap between understanding of basic sciences and clinical sciences. Here we are trying to bridge in conglomerate genetics, genomics, molecular biology into the dental and clinical medical world. So to know more, you can call us in this number and visit our website too. We have already taken few steps out from the crowd. We are doing bi-weekly WhatsApp in our WhatsApp group on different aspects of science, different aspects of medicine, dentistry. It's all about science. And we are also doing a monthly essay competition, paint a page. So do participate. It has all categories for dentists, for medical profession, for medical persons, and also professional students. Everyone is welcome. We also have category for general and allied sciences. So it's a very interdisciplinary uh, contest. And finally, I'd like to tell that we also have come up with a quarterly e-magazine that is Dinam, and there we have sections for good articles. We have a section called Find Your Facts. Here, it's not only about science, it's not only about medicine, healthcare. We also bring in knowledge of finance. We also bring in knowledge of legal aspects and many more things. We have Auschwitz Corner that's entirely for the students out there. You cannot. It's not only about writing articles about on science or your creativity. It's to showcase your talent as if you're good painters, if you can write good poems or anything, any stuff that you write well, you can send us. And our first issue is published in August 15th, and next issue is going to come in November. So just flood our inbox with your wonderful write-up. Okay, thank you so much, and I think you will enjoy your journey with Indian Academy for Clinical and Dental Genetics. Please to contact us, call us, email us, WhatsApp us to know more about our online courses and get enlightened and definitely complete your circle of knowledge. Thank you so much.